Welcome to Dolly Talk. This is Dolly. How is everybody going? Okay. Well, nobody had complained yet. No comments yet about me being late, so figured I could chance it, but nope. How are you doing, Mafka Base Judge? Yes. Haven't watched him too much. There was a really funny clip I once saw. I should try to find it. I think Hella played it once, but it's always good. Hi, Christine. How are you doing? So, Sasha, good to see you. I was going to do some more of Judge Simpson. Yes, that one. I'm good. How are you, Sasha? I was going to do Simpson, but I didn't see any of... He wasn't live today. So I decided to try a different judge. And we'll do some Judge Middleton. So misdemeanor sentence. We'll see how this goes. He started like... Oh, he ended 35 minutes ago. That's pretty quick. Oh, yeah, let's play it and see.
Because I thought he was working, then he wasn't, so I apologize. I would have just set it with a regular time schedule.
Yeah. Really, half hours?
Hi. We're back for our final hearing of the day. This is a sentencing in the matter of Peter Dylan Summers. File number is 241885. Mr. Summers was charged with operating while intoxicated back in August. He entered a plea to impaired driving. The matter was set for sentencing, but our probation agent was unable to contact him because his phone didn't answer or a message was full or something. So we rescheduled the matter for today. It's here with his lawyer, Mr. Tim George. Prosecutor's not present. I'm not sure they intend to come for this one. It's 2 minutes early, but let's see. Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think Matt did a nice job in the report, kind of giving the court a full sense of what's going on. My client is employed. I know he told the court that he's kind of working a lot, when he's young and still can do that. But, in this case, it's kind of an interesting situation. Obviously, whenever there's any type of drinking and driving offense, there's always that risk to public safety that's inherent in that. And, my client acknowledges what he did was wrong. And, fortunately, it wasn't a worse situation. But kind of taking the actual facts of the case into context, this was a circumstance where he was pulled over for disregarding a stop sign and then was a .08 on the blood draw. The impaired driving in and of itself would be a presumptively fines and costs case. But I also understand that there's some kind of circumstances surrounding my client, maybe outside of this case, that led Matt to the recommendation that he had. In speaking with him, I did note that there were a couple issues in different counties, but it sounds like he's in the process of getting those taken care of. Obviously, doesn't want to have those hanging out there. So I guess a couple different things here, Judge. We would ask the court to consider maybe a short term of a non-reporting probation to allow him to complete the victim impact panel and maybe anything else that the court would want. If the court were looking at a full term of probation here, we would ask for a shorter term of probation. I think anything that's in here could be completed by my client during the course of a shorter probation. There's a victim impact panel that will be meeting in May. So that's just a couple months down the road. And then obviously any other conditions that the court would put on my client, I think he would be able to complete that in a shorter period. Thank you.
All right. I'm interested in the status of the two warrants that you have out for your arrest. One is in Corona, which is Shiawassee County, for failing to appear at some sort of show cause hearing, but the other is more direct. It's failed to appear for a misdemeanor case in Allegan County. Do we know what the status of that is, Matt?
As of January 24th, 2025, which was Friday, the warrant was still active. I spoke to a clerk in Allegan County District Court, and she indicated that Mr. Summers had contacted.
Yeah, on January 9th. Okay.
Yeah, on January 9th, which was the day of the assessment. And I asked if there was any sort of action taken. She indicated that there wasn't any. So presumably there was no bond paid in that case, nor was there a new court date set. And she confirmed that the warrant was still active. I have not verified that it is at this moment, but perhaps Mr. Summers could shed more light on that situation if he has additional information, that is.
Mr. Summers, what can you tell us?
Yes, I did get a hold of them last week. Presume to say I had gotten hold of a bail bonds company last week as well. I tried getting a hold of them Thursday and Friday to go up there to get that bond paid for and get it all taken care of.
What is the charge?
It's more than likely it's a driving while suspended as well, or I think it was driving. On a incorrect registration because my plates that have been expired on the truck.
Can I just say, Maddie okay. I told Hella that Maddie legitimately did not know I had a channel, and she thought I was screwing with her. Or you screwing with me? Sal? Who the hell is this?
Time. I got pulled over on Lincoln Way on my way home.
From where?
I was coming, would have been coming from South Haven.
Okay, let's talk about this case. The closer I look at it, the worse it gets. You're do a hole shot in front of this party you're at, blow your tire. You're driving down Portage Street, throwing sparks. I don't know where you think you were going to go, and you're over the legal limit. You're only 20 years old. You won't be 21 until September. I'm dumbfounded at how many driving suspended charges you have. December of 21, violation of graduated license permit.
I'm dumbfounded by how many DUIs you have. What do you think you are, a Texas citizen? God.
Which got you suspended. November of 22. Excuse me.
Bless you. What are you doing, Judge? Whoa.
Driving suspended in front of Judge Patterson. June of 23, no insurance. Driving suspended.
Apparently that's hell.
No valid license. And no valid license plates. You apparently haven't learned much. 8. Then you got another driving suspended in September of 23.
Justice.
Failed to stop and ensure clear distance. And speeding. You have a speeding ticket in Kalamazoo County. All of these are suspended. Defective.
Oh, Emily. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I'll post the link in my community page if you'd like to join our Discord and get updates on other streams I'm doing, as well as my co-host Excited Utterance, and she's in the chat. So thank you so much. Welcome.
Equipment. And you even pay your booking fee.
So with the booking fee too.
I'm not gonna worry about the booking fee. I don't really like them anyway, but they are on there. They used to suspend your license for it.
Thanks, Judge.
You got in a crash on 2/13 of 24.
Aw.
Yeah, that was a rough week, so to speak.
Yes, and you got another crash on 5/20 of 23.
Jeez, dude.
You got a speeding ticket in Shiawassee County in February of 23. Violation of graduated permit in 22. You got a speeding ticket in Kalamazoo in 22. and you're mucho suspended. Plus you got a DWLS in Allegan County, which probably is after this, meaning you just don't care. But as Mr. George,
How do you get so many DUIs? Like, after the first one or two, don't you maybe reassess your life choices, your decision-making patterns, because something isn't working? I just don't get that. And I'm not too familiar. Sorry about that. I'm not too familiar either, but we'll see what he's like. Or lose your car half Irish. Or at the very least, get a freaking interlock device.
says this is a .08 impaired driving case. But you got an open warrant for your arrest, and I'm not going to blow it off. It's an order from that court to take you into custody. So we gave you an opportunity to go take care of it, and you didn't. So you're going to go in my jail, and then Allegan can come get you.
So I have been trying to reach a bail bonds company, but I can't get William, the guy I spoke to and with. I couldn't get him to answer last week to go up to the jail with me. I'm trying to go up Friday to get the bonds paid.
How much is the bail?
It's $2,500, sir.
Well, you can go there and post it. You have an open warrant for your arrest. You're in my court. You've been in here twice with an open warrant for your arrest. You also have one from Corona, which apparently you haven't done anything to address. I'm going to give you 3 days jail credit 1.
Oh, that's nice of them.
And 2 days to serve. So you're going to my jail, which they will contact that jail, and you can go deal with that. The case is aggravated. As Mr. George says, the presumption would be that you don't get any jail time. But A, you're driving, you do a burnout on Portage Street, blow your tire, you're driving down the, I don't even know what you thought was going to happen. You got multiple prior driving suspended charges. You got another one. Well, after this one, I don't know if it was before or after, but it doesn't show as a conviction. They must be serious about it. They have a $2,500 bond, and there's a $300 fine, a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, a $100 screening fee, and a $150 attorney fee.
Mads.
Is there a police reimbursement in here?
$200 reimbursement to Michigan State Police.
I don't know if all courts order those, but they're mandated, so we do.
What the hell? Sorry if you guys hear that.
$875. I'm going to give you some time to pay it. I'm going to make the payable by June 1st, or 1,000 days in jail. June 1st, or show cause. I don't want you on probation. You're not mature enough. You're not ready for it. And you've been skating on these open warrants. And they're going to, the good news is you'll get all this stuff done. You won't have to look over your shoulder. But I'm not letting you walk out of here when I know there's an open warrant for your arrest. I wouldn't like it if they did that to me. If they don't get you in 2 days, I guess.
Consider a judge.
And you'll have to keep, you still need to go over there. But I'm going to give you until June 1st, 875, 601, 25. I'm not even doing the victim impact panel. You need to stop driving. How'd you get here today?
My mom drove me.
So is she out in the parking lot?
Yes, she is.
We'll let her know that he's going to jail and he's got 2 days to do. All right, here's the information regarding your fine.
Yeah, can somebody tell his mom he's going to jail?
You're good to go. We'll let your mom know. You may need to get a hold of Allegan to see what happens there. All right.
I'm going to call your mom and tell her what a screw up you are in life. Oh, Palmyra, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member.
Do you need this for anything, Matt?
No, I don't think it's not.
I hope he doesn't come back soon, but I got a feeling he's going to keep right on driving.
I agree.
We'll get Mr. George to represent him again. All right, thank you all. We'll finish our day. You don't have to go back to Sturgis, do you?
Yes.
All right, well, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you too.
Be close this.
Well, that's that for that one.
The fact
Okay, let's do. Let's see. Misdemeanor plea and probation violation. Oh, that could be. He really kind of does these kind of weird, but.
Just get me back on my feet after my kids and house and rest everything. The kids are still with you. Because that's 2 years ago. 18 years. Yeah.
All right, I've got the live stream on.
Your other ones are not. Where are they? They are in Australia with cousin. It's really nice. Everything's really good. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's been a rough 2 years. 20 days to start the inpatient.
Thanks for joining, Palmyra.
Yeah, it's something like 28 days to do on my next court in Kansas. I don't know encouragement, but global or something. And just a bit they're just going to reschedule and they got scheduled for so they what are you for this stuff? Okay. Try to get just so it's the 8-year-old had a twin sister that 5 students.
Quit checking your Tinder matches.
Yeah.
The defendant missed a dangerous. Ms. Phil, are you ready to go?
Yeah, everyone.
All right. I didn't know you guys were finished. All right. Well, let's call the case. We're
defendant or the
about
judge?
25 minutes late. We got backed up by our previous zoning enforcement matter. This is file number 24926FY, People versus Shania Marie Hill. Ms. Hill was charged with assault with a dangerous weapon for allegedly hitting her brother in the head with a sock with a heavy object in it, and then resisting and obstructing the police officers. The matter was reduced to attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer. And the matter was set for a sentence today. The defendant missed several previous court dates. She would be set. There was a P exam set. She didn't show up. She'd get arrested. And then she'd postpone, and then she wouldn't show up, and then she'd get arrested again. And then here we are. So I did get the police report, which was eye-opening. The defendant had been in the Kalamazoo County Jail and was out. She got arrested again in December. Between the time we took this plea and now.
No, it's like a sock with soap in it. Ball bearings are a good one. That'll really give you a wallop. They do them in jail, stuff like that. Not really sure why she had one just out and about, but okay. It's an effective weapon.
Let me see what there was a date of the plea. December 30th. I guess that was earlier in December.
And Jody's a lot,
So the police report is bad. When I took your plea, you wandered and you gave me this long story about your daughter was at your brother's and you came down there and you thought he was doing stuff with her, but yet you let her live there or placed her there for 2 years.
He was taking our money.
You thought he was taking her money. And then they talked to her. She said she'd rather live there. Anyway, he did provide a brief victim statement, which I'll address.
She's lived with me since he assaulted her after I first got out and filed my police report. He choked her.
All right. Anyway, then you were absolute horse's ass to the police. And here we are. Ms. Hines, what would you like me to know?
Yeah, this was in May of 24. Rhonda Ives was her initial attorney and had did some discussion with a couple witnesses. Shane and I got off the wrong foot because I didn't realize that the case went back that far. I didn't get any background information from Rhonda Ives, so we had to make up a lot of ground on the day we were here in December. My client was adamant that she did not hit her brother, that her brother had hit her. She was honest with the court. She explained that. That's why the assault with a dangerous weapon was dropped. And she did admit freely that she did kick the police officer, and she was pretty difficult with them. I did watch the body cam. I think she's had kind of a rough life. Her daughter was there. Her daughter's now was back living in Kalamazoo when we entered the plea. She's disabled. She did tell me this morning she's made arrangements at the Gilmore Center to do some inpatient work there. It sounds like she might.
I never thought I would say this, but I can't hear you very well.
It sounds like she has some substance abuse issues. She did admit to drinking that night. Sounds like she's just had a rough life. She's got 5 children. I learned that this morning.
Just a moment, Mr. George, your client just came in. If you need to talk.
I've talked.
Okay, all right.
So it sounds like she's got neglect and abuse or had neglect and abuse charges. So I don't think anything's been really easy for Miss Hill. So I know that she wants to go ahead with the Gilmore Center. She does have pending charges in Kalamazoo County, but she doesn't have the paperwork to tell me what those are. So obviously she has that to deal with. I guess we would just be asking for fines and costs. She did serve some jail time. She has Kalamazoo County jail time. And unfortunately, it's taken a while for this to get here. But I'm glad I've now been appointed and I've been able to straighten things out for her. So it's been kind of a mess. So that's what we're asking.
All right, according to what I got from the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Department, her charges were assault and battery, resisting a police officer, driving suspended, and resisting a police officer. Those occurred on December 13th of 2024. She did mention that she had been charged with something in Kalamazoo, but we weren't clear.
Right, and I wasn't clear of that.
I think those cases are still pending in Kalamazoo County.
Right. Scheduled it out for after a month in the treatment center, which I was waiting for the day after pushed it back since that's.
All right, Mr. Gabriel, you've been here now about 10 days, so you inherited this case also. Do you have any input here?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I guess I appreciate you looking into what was going on in Kalamazoo, and what immediately pops in my mind is wondering what the defendant's state of mind was at this particular point in time. When I initially read some of the police report up to a point, I thought, well, this is a lot like what in the old days we would call a drunk and disorderly. And then I saw the kick to the police officer. And to me, that raises us to the kind of level that it deserves to be here. I would read one note, kind of in response to defense counsel's last comment, from our thought process. The court's well aware of some of the sentencing directives that have come down that affect the circuit court and what they can and can't do with particular cases. And it was the opinion of the office at the time, prior to my arrival, that a plea before you could give her the potential for more sanctions and more help than might be received if the case went up to circuit court. This case kind of arises to the level where it's too bad she didn't get it taken care of right away, because I probably wouldn't have read a lot of the notes that I've read. The issue here between her and her brother that seemed to be fueled by her own alcoholic, intoxicated paranoia about her daughter. The officer talks to the daughter, there's no problems, but then A few months later, let's see, July 15th, the next thing you know, we have a warrant, or this office issues a warrant against the brother for assault on the daughter. That warrant is still open. And that was another factor that resulted in that office, Mr. Marvin's office, not pursuing a felonious assault. So my hope for the court is realizing that this client has been very difficult is we can try to help, or the court can put her in jail as a punishment for what she did and hope she gets help on her own. But fines and costs just seems like we're asking for something you're never going to see.
Ms. Hill, I'll give you the last word. What would you like me to know?
I've lost everything these last 2 years. And looking back, I just tried to make excuses for everything. It's this CPS, it's something. And I've stomped my feet and, yelled long enough, and I need to shit or get off the pot, and I've died 4 times this last year, and
What?
I'm tired.
Wow.
What are you struggling with? Opioids or methamphetamine?
It's alcohol.
Okay.
And I'm just to the point where I'm either going to kill myself or change. And that's why the treatment was set up for the following week or the past week. But I can't leave to come to court and stuff like that. You can't leave for it. My daughter, even with the assault charges there, she just said, "Mom, I just want my mom back." I'm like, well, saying crap like I did something isn't cool, but I understand she just wants her mom back. And after the treatment, it's like it's like 5 days detox, something, and then it's like 14 days in, and then it's a 90-day sober living, and then there's another program after that. I've lost my house, all 5 kids. I don't have anything left. I just want to start over. I moved out of Kalamazoo because that is nothing good for me there. It took 20 years of just
Brad.
Where do you live now?
Hartford.
Okay.
And Kalamazoo is supposed to do like a global or whatever it's called, where they put all the charges together, and they're going to see how I'm doing after like a month.
So do you have charges in Van Buren County also?
This is the only one besides Kalamazoo.
Okay.
And they were supposed to do probation, I think, there.
Well, I think that may be the thought.
Yeah, that's what they were saying with the prosecutor and them last time. So they just wanted to make sure I got into the treatment and started. And today was the last thing I had. I got the meds and everything. So.
All right.
I'm too old.
Yes. You do have a lot of baggage. At the time this happened, which, by the way, was 3 o'clock in the morning, May the 25th was at that time it was a Friday night into a Saturday morning. So you didn't just show up there and want to have a discussion. He said you hit him in the head with a sock with a piece of pneumatic chisel.
I was upset with him, and I honestly went there to beat his ass, and I didn't. He punched me and slammed the door. Like, me and my brother.
So I don't blame him. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're bashing on the side of the trailer. You're pounding on the trailer. You're pounding on the door. He opens the door. You hit him with this thing in the head. Now, maybe he hit you first, but then you hit him.
I never hit him. I would admit to it, sir.
All right. Well, he claims you did, and they found the instrument. You're drunk. This is in a trailer park. As Mr. Gabriel said, drunk and disorderly, to be sure. Then apparently he got charged with you, but hasn't been arrested yet.
Yeah, don't
And so
tell me
they
shit.
decided they weren't going to pursue the assault part, just the cop part. So the police show up. You got a previous resisting and obstructing conviction out of Kalamazoo. You're on bond for resisting and obstructing from December 13th, or excuse me, you got arrested again for resisting and obstructing in Kalamazoo while you're on bond for here for resisting and obstructing. And the only reason this case is so old is that you continually failed to appear for your hearings when you were supposed to. We kept bonding you out. The first one was a surety bond, and your surety company called on after you failed to appear.
I had a lot of problems with the man that bonded me out. And
Well,
he
and,
pulled the bond.
Yes, he called and said she is a quote unquote hot mess. And then he pulled the bond. And then
Bonded me out.
Bye from
I think you spent the 25th and you got out on the 26th the first time. Then you got picked up again on the 11th, and you the 10th of July. You did 2 days there. Then you failed to appear again. You got arrested on December 17th, and you posted bond on the 18th. So you've done a total of 4 days in jail. Since you got arrested on December 17th, and that may have been, did they bring you down here from Kalamazoo?
Yeah, it was like a whole week this last time.
All right, so you were in Kalamazoo from the 13th, and then they brought you here on the 17th, and I gave you a bond on the 18th. So you got 4 St. Joseph County credit days.
It was more than that.
The police officers tried to give you a breath test, which you didn't have to take it. It wasn't a driving case, but you wouldn't. They were just trying to determine how intoxicated you were, and you didn't cooperate with that. Your brother says serious need for rehab for drugs and alcohol. I love my sister, but she needs help.
He's never loved me. I don't think.
Due to the minimum allowable fine of $125, I'm going to order 34 days in jail, credit 30 or credit 4. You're going to do 30 days in jail starting right now.
What?
Yeah, you're going to jail. Eventually, there's a consequence. You're going to jail. If you'd like to go for longer, we could discuss it further. You're getting 30 days in jail for your obnoxious drunken behavior at 3 o'clock in the morning where you kick some Three Rivers police officers. You failed to appear on 3 previous occasions. You have a previous conviction for resisting and obstructing a police officer. And while you were on bond AWOL from our case, you got arrested again for resisting, obstructing, and assault in Kalamazoo. So you're not in Kalamazoo, you're in Centerville. So you're going to jail for 30 days, 125 days or 2 additional days.
I'm in the middle of getting my meds and stuff.
Well, you're going to jail. That's what happens when you get sentenced. There's a consequence.
I thought we had a whole agreement thing.
We did not have an agreement. You're going to jail, which you've earned. If you'd like to earn some more, we can discuss it. I'd like you to just quietly go with the officer. You'll get some good time. You'll be out in 25 days and you can start your probation in Kalamazoo.
Where's the card? I don't even know if this, I walked through. It's got a dent on the door.
We'll tell your friend.
my phone passcode so they can give my finalized car back.
It's 30 days, 34
Give your
days jail
friend your
credit
car
for,
back.
no probation. I waived all the fines and costs,
I
including
have
attorney
worked there
fees,
too. How can we let
except
them
a
know?
minimum fee of $125, which should be paid before your release or 2 additional days. Mr. Gabriel, thank you for your help. We have one more to do.
Certainly.
Passcode 711 it's his car.
Arnold, am I correct, sir?
Attempt Arnold.
Yeah, it's his car. It's Washington. My kids is.
If you guys want to have further discussion, you can do it in the back. I don't want to do it here on the live feed, and I don't have
Sorry.
another case to do.
Or in the club, like, or with the bill on the driver's side.
Are you just probably found? No, no.
What's that? Yeah.
Oh, we got another one.
All right.
However long this has been going.
Deputy Ross. Good morning, Deputy Ross. This is file 242275, People versus Robin Ann Holtz. Ms. Holtz is here with her lawyer, Mr. Timothy George. Also here is Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Gary Gabriel. I've known Ms. Holtz from other contacts other than an assault case, but she was charged in December with domestic violence and assault, allegedly with a dangerous weapon. She pled to a domestic assault charge and the felony case was dismissed. The matter is set for sentencing this morning. It appears to me that she is eligible for the domestic violence deferral. Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Did you throw it to me, Judge?
Yeah,
I apologize.
that's all right.
That's all right. We're in speaking with Robin in this case, I think if there is a silver lining for her, it's that it got her out of what was a terrible situation. She described to me kind of the relationship that was going on between her and her husband at the time. And through this, she's been able to get out and has started to rebuild her life. She does want to take advantage of the domestic violence deferral. The one thing that we would have to try to figure out with the probation department would be, I figured there's going to be an anger management component to it. She has relocated to the Grand Rapids area. So just making sure, I'm sure that there's something up
Yeah, we
there
could
that,
make it work.
that would satisfy that requirement. But some of the things that were addressed last week at the plea, she does still have items in the home that her husband is not allowing her to access. So we'd like her to have the ability to have an officer go with her to access some of her personal items, including medications.
I did get my
You got your medications. And I know that she had told the court that she had some other information that she wanted to bring to the attention of the court and or the prosecutor. I have advised her to go out to the sheriff's department today and file a formal complaint regarding any type of additional concerns that she has. All in all, I think that she's making the most of this situation. She wants to take advantage of that deferral, and we'd ask the court to sentence her to the probation, defer any additional jail over the course of that probation, and allow her the opportunity to complete those services. And my sincere hope is that she won't have any issue getting that done. Thank you.
Mr. Gabriel, anything further?
Just, Your Honor, in light of the victim's statement that he feels that whatever the judge feels is appropriate, he would be okay with. I reviewed the file, the video, and I think Mr. George is,
Whoa.
I think Mr.
What's going on there? It's a little weird.
the video, and I think Mr. George is right. It seems like this is a situation in which she should benefit from this opportunity. I'm sure the court's reviewed the whole file too, and the whole gun thing is kind of mind-blowing.
Well, you weren't here when I took the plea, I don't think, but I related a case that I had a number of years ago where it was like this, and a gun got out and someone ended up dead. And we've had many of these where the shooting wasn't intended. Her version is he brought it, and his version is she pointed it at him, but it was his gun, and he's the one that had it in the holster.
Yeah.
And domestic violence and guns don't go very well together.
Correct.
Normally, I would order that the gun be forfeited and destroyed, but I'm going to allow the gun to be returned to him. It was his gun. But I told her about, and I related to one particular case, but I've had a number of them where once a gun came into the picture, the whole world turned upside down. Well, I'm glad to hear you're in a better place. You look good today. You look like you had time to get your things organized a little bit.
I feel a little bit better.
Now, you had some property crime type things that you went to jail in Ohio. You sat in our jail for a long time waiting for them to extradite you. Then you went to Ohio. That matter was resolved. Your position there was your husband threw you under the bus and let you take the hit for that. I don't know whether that's accurate or not, but anyway, you did, finished whatever you had to do there, and it come back to your house here. This is another one of those where, like, get out of my house. We had one on Monday where it's like, my house, you have to leave. That isn't how it works. But you got put out of your house as a result of this no contact provision. I think this was just before Christmas, and you got out on Christmas Eve.
I hate it when domestics ruin the
and I took your plea on January 7th.
Someone got called.
What else would you like me to know?
Did you have a chance to listen to the 911 call?
I did not. I said I would try to get it, and I didn't. So go ahead.
Okay. I was just asking because on the call, it records me yelling and screaming to give me my phone back so I can leave and find someplace else to go. And
I don't, he said his version, you said your version, and the truth is usually in the middle. But I think that you were willing to leave, but circumstances didn't allow it. And it wasn't your gun, and I don't believe you brought the gun into the circumstance. In order to get the deferral, I have to place you on probation. We have here in St. Joe County a specific women's anger management program, which I like, and the women like it. One. But if you're going to be living in another place, we can probably, I'm sure Kent County's got resources that we could tap into. What are you doing up there?
I had my interview at the casino. I'm waiting to hear back about orientation on that one. And I've got 2 more interviews set up for this coming Monday when I get home.
We consider moving to Arizona, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to put you on probation for 12 months. You could be discharged at the end of 6, but it's at least until you finish the program. The fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, $480 probation oversight fee, which could be cut in half if you do it soon enough and you're to pay for the class.
I think she's attractive enough for Kirk's standards.
Let's add that up. 125 plus 150 plus 480 minus 240. It could be as little as 515, but right now it's $755 doing 1 year. I don't get the impression alcohol was a factor here, but there's no drugs and no alcohol on every probation, including marijuana. You're going to do the anger management program, no assaultive or threatening behavior. I'm lifting the no contact provision. You're not on bond, you're on probation. So you have the lawful right to go to your house and get your property. You could ask the sheriff's department to do a standby, and when you go down to probation, you may discuss that. They don't do that as much as they used to because it can take a lot of manpower. But the theory was we might as well stand by and do it than wait till a fight starts and then they call us and then we're in the middle of it. So I always thought that made sense. We have a new sheriff and he may have a new view on this.
Damn Democrats.
Wow.
Yes.
Was there any bond to apply in there? Speaking with my client, I got the impression there might be.
There might be $1,000 in here. Who posted it?
My mom. She went through.
That's a bonding company.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
No, wait a minute. That's Miss Hill. Let me make sure I got the right case. That was the one where they bonding company said she was a hot mess.
Just tell Kurt
Which
how
I
easy
have
it
to
is to
agree
find
with.
a woman. He loves that topic.
This was also quick bail bonds. They write most of our bonds here. It was a bonding company.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Anyway, Ms. Holtz, I think you're going to do fine on this probation. I expect you to complete this.
Hey, Ginny.
Did you have a probation before?
No.
I know Autumn Kiefer was aware of that other case. I don't think she actually did a probation. I take this form downstairs to the probation department. If you hold up your end of the deal, let me do this sentence. 12 days, credit 2 of the 12 days, 10 are deferred. So if you do what I ask you to do, you're not going to do any additional jail time and the criminal charge will be taken off your record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. George, stick around for a second. I want
Yes,
to
sir.
ask you about next Wednesday because the clerks are asking. We have a jury trial set for next Wednesday. It looks like your circuit court case is a go.
It's a go, Your Honor, and I had advised my assistant to prepare a stipend order, so we should have that over.
All right, so stipend order is coming.
Yes,
I
sir.
would have liked to have done
I'm
the,
not comfortable going out to that car by myself, so I wouldn't officer go out. And clear things back.
I would have liked to have done that civil infraction. Could your assistant, Mr. Reed, do that?
I can check with TJ and see what his schedule
If he
is.
could, maybe we could just use that time to try that disturbing.
And I thought we had amended it to a civil infraction on the jurat.
I'll have to look at it.
Okay,
But if so, we could use the time to do that.
okay.
Maybe Mr. Shesky could come over and do that. He
I know
might,
he's always chomping at the bit.
he
to get
might,
here.
he might enjoy that.
I'll try to catch TJ.
All right.
and see.
At any rate, I'm going to call off the,
All right, so that's that one. Let's do one more, and then I'll send you all over to Hella when I end.
We've got some questions about it. It's the damage hearing, and I'm got some questions about it.
Okay.
I'm confused, and maybe counsel can unconfuse me. But it's
He's sexually
set
confused.
for 5 minutes from now.
Hey, Sean. No, I still got 30 minutes or 40. How are you, Sean? Oh, he's looking for some hair clips from Temu.
Thank you.
Ooh, legal aid Meg. Ooh, and that's her phone number.
Hi, Hillary. Goodness.
Oh, sweetie. Sweetie. Megsy. That is a rookie mistake. That is a rookie mistake, Meg. Hold on, guys. 269. Just kidding.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, that Tina Belcher. I wonder if Meg is single. Should I call her right now?
Judge, just as a side note on this matter,
Yes,
I had submitted a corrected judgment for the possession judgment. It looks like the one that was issued had a error on it and on the form or defendant, and it actually had my firm's information in the defendant's field. So just for the record, I had submitted a corrected judgment.
I have it here.
She reminds me of my ex.
All right, I was confused here.
Really?
But maybe I'm less confused. I think the documents were out of order. It's part of the problem.
For the administrative issue now, since the possession judgment has already been issued and the eviction has already taken place.
Yes. All right, it is 10:59. In 1 minute, it'll be 11 o'clock
She is
All right,
very
it is
much like
11.
my type.
a.m. It is the time for a supplemental complaint for damages in the matter of People versus Sturgis Housing Commission versus Richie Carlisle. Mr. Carlisle is not here. We had a number of hearings on this case. This was a difficult case. Mr. Jacob Porter is here on behalf of the plaintiff, Sturgis Housing Commission. Mr. Tim Hill, the administrator there, is also present. When the complaint was first filed, the arrearage was in the neighborhood of $6,400. It had been quite some time since the defendant had paid any rent. There were a bunch of issues about bed bugs and other issues. Here's Mr. Carlisle now. Please come up and have a seat. Meg Bauer from Legal Aid is also present. Good morning, Mr. Carlisle.
Good morning.
Smoke detector.
As you know, the Sturgis Housing Commission filed an action to terminate your tenancy, and a tenancy judgment order entered. I had a look at it. I should have printed all this. That judgment entered on October 25th, gave you until November 4th to move, alleged that you owed $8,074.55 of rent and court costs through the month of October. The landlord has now filed an action to collect money damages.
Aw.
And you've got a copy of that. The first filing says that your rent arrearage through December was $9,086.06 plus $274.55 in costs. So they were asking for $9,360 worth of money damages. Then this morning, I got emailed to me some additional stuff.
Right now.
And we've gone back to the original amount, I think.
I can clarify that for your honor if you'd like.
Yes.
So in the interim between the possession judgment and the order of eviction, there was an agreement to reduce the rental amount to $411 based on the defendant's income at the time, which resulted in also a rent charge adjustment that reduced the amount owed. This was an attempt to come to an agreement for the defendant to pay and be able to continue his tenancy, but payments were not received. So the new rent amount is reflected in the judgment information sheet and the ledger that I submitted to the court for review, which ends up being the total arrearage of $7,800.06. And then with costs on top of that is a total judgment request of $8,074.61 in
Like I said, she reminds me of my ex.
damages.
Which essentially matches the earlier judgment.
Correct.
All right, well, let's take a moment. Mr.
I talked to Social Security.
Just a minute. Mr. Hill, would you raise your right hand? And Mr. Ritchie, would you raise yours? Mr. Carlisle? That's your left hand.
Oh,
All right. You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Now that's what they claim. Yeah, I guess. All right. At the time we did this back in October, that's how much the rent was behind. And that's essentially what they're asking for now. Mr. Carlisle, what did you want to tell me?
I talked to Social Security today. So Social Security just called me today before I came here. And they told me I'm not getting Social Security right now because I work in 2 jobs, working at Applebee's and Myers. Because I work Saturdays, Sundays at Applebee's.
Good for you.
Because if I can get my Social Security back in, because I get my pay back in services, because I have time budgeting.
Where are you living right now?
Right now, I'm living homeless shelter right now. I can't stay there at shelter very long.
You're at Keystone here in Centerville?
Mm-hmm.
She got a Red Robin.
And I guess caseworker there from the Keystone asked me to need how much I owe, whatever, I guess. So I can make payment arrangements, whatever.
All right. Well, this
move forward
is significant.
and get another place.
Yes.
Because I can't stay at Keystone very long.
All right. This was a very difficult case. You were working at Myers, I believe, at the time, and you bought a car, and you were spending more money on your car than you were on your rent. And I knew that once they terminated this, you would be homeless. And you're part of the working homeless. You're actually working 2 jobs.
Oh, that's
And
something.
because you're working 2 jobs, you become ineligible for your Social Security disability. So you are.
My pay is still in place.
Okay.
And so still have to pay E. If I quit one of these jobs, if I quit Applebee's, I'll get my Social Security back in.
All right.
If I keep the Myers.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
have you reviewed the ledgers and
Yeah, I
the
prefer not
documents
working
from Sturgis Housing Commission?
Weird.
Yes, I have it with me.
And did you see the supplemental request that was filed by Mr. Porter?
I believe I have that with me here as well.
All right, and he then amended it back to the original judgment amount of $7,800 through last October. Do your
Come on,
records support that's what his arrearage was at that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are we paying you for?
Now, did we ever calculate a security deposit in here?
I don't know if that's calculated or not in there.
I didn't see it anywhere. Was there a security deposit?
Yeah, it was. I moved on the 5th floor. I moved on the 5th floor. I had to pay the 643.
Yeah, he needs a job under the table. Rumor has it there's going to be a lot of jobs available working on farms, perhaps under the table. He might try looking into one of those. Just saying.
Yeah, 600. I see that 643.
All right.
Because I used my deposit from downstairs.
All right, we're gonna subtract 643 from 7,800.
Come on, Meg, say something.
The water damage.
$7,157. The court costs are what they are, $274.55. Plus an additional $75 attorney for today.
The Keystone needs a copy of I went to court today.
All right,
How much
very
I
good.
owe it over.
We'll give you that. Court costs are $349.55.
I can get that to the front desk, right?
I'll get your copy before you go. Plus 7,157 equals
So Meg might actually just
7,506.55
go this whole hearing and not say one thing.
That's a lot, Mr. Carlisle. It had been quite some time since you had paid your rent. And there were arrearages that got carried forward. And then at the end,
At least you got
you didn't really pay any rent from February to.
Because we all supposed to work together, me and Tim and my caseworker.
Yes.
And we supposed to work together on this and never got evicted from this.
Well, I am sorry that you got evicted. They worked hard to not do an eviction. We're in a bad spot. You don't have very much money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a place to live. You've currently lost your Social Security disability benefits. You're working 2 jobs, you're living in a homeless shelter, and your former landlord just sued you for $7,157.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to give him this figure. You owe a lot of money. I don't know that you're collectible. Now, they could theoretically seize some of your wages from Myers or Applebee's. They cannot seize or garnish your Social Security disability benefits. But
any thoughts, Meg?
This is a difficult.
Applebee's to get my Social Security back. That's all I can do.
Well, that's all you can do. Now, if you don't have any money, you
Just
don't
buy a Meyer check and pay my car loan.
Yes. Well, I know that car is important to you. It gets you where you need to go.
If I don't pay on it, they'll shut it off.
Yes, I understand.
Because it got shut off a couple times, right, Tim?
Now, what was it, a Ford Edge or something?
No, 2013 Chevy Impala.
Chevy Impala, okay. I don't even really know what to say here, Ms. Bauer or Mr. Porter. This is difficult. He's essentially currently uncollectible, but he is employed. You did reduce.
So he's a working.
Essentially, you took out December and November. We went back to where we were in October. I added in the security deposit, even though you credited those 2 months, I felt he was still entitled to his deposit. So that gives us $7,157.
An expensive beater.
Ms. Porter, Mr. Porter, you have anything to add?
No, but I would request that the court schedule a debtor's hearing. I'll discuss this matter with my client further, but given Mr. Carlisle's living situation, I think it's prudent to put something on the books now while we're all here, rather than trying to track everybody down later. If that goes forward.
My dad said I need to go back to Maple Towers because I can't live in the car.
No, you can't.
No, you're
It's dangerous. It's not safe.
No.
My dad said I need to go back to where it was.
They're probably not going to let you come back.
Because I don't know family go to or nothing like that. That's what the shelter asked me. I don't got no place to go.
Yes. Hopefully they can work on some sort of housing. This Maple Towers has sort of been a housing of last resort for many people.
I do have a caseworker from the Keystone.
All right. Who is that?
Also,
You know her name?
the caseworker from Keystone. His guy name.
Oh,
I forgot his name.
Great job.
Eric. Yeah, I think his name's Eric.
Well, legal aid,
All
I think,
right.
is free.
I find the defendant owes $7,157. $274.55 in costs, which is $7,506.55. You had put in there, plaintiff was entitled to retain the security deposit, which they do, but it reduces the amount. When you had the amount correct. That's after hearing. I'm going to set a debtor's exam live at courthouse.
The hell? That means you, Meg.
Judge,
Do you? Yes.
you indicated 274.55 this time, and I think you neglected to add in the additional 75.
Oh, I did. Yes, thank you.
I think you had the final judgment amount correct.
Yes, the final judgment is right, 7,506.55. I did grant an additional statutory attorney fee for today's hearing.
Typical lawyer can't do math.
Mr. Carlisle, do you have any other caseworker from CMH or Pivotal or Social Security or?
No, the only caseworker I have is Pivotal. I have two caseworkers from Pivotal. I have Stacy, Michelle, and the Keystone.
All right.
And from DHS. I used to have Lori before got changed.
Lori. She's a
Yeah, I think Lori appeared at one of these hearings.
Yeah, she did. The 25th. I think we have need Stacy or Rochelle involved in this.
Who is your payee?
Guardian Finances. I gave Tim the copy.
All right. Guardian, what's it called?
Guardian Finance. You had that copy, right, Tim? For Guardian Finances.
Guardian Finance, yeah, it should be in the office.
If I can't get full security, I'm gonna have to have my work check goes to the straight to payee.
All right.
That's how because I'm probably buzzing. Unless I can drop one of my jobs. Because I work Saturday, Sundays.
Well, it's an irony. If you drop a job, lose earned income, you may get more Social Security income. But right now, you're not collectible on this debt very much, but you are working. See judgment 7157 plus 274. 55 plus 75, 7506.55. I'm going to set a debtor hearing. Live at courthouse. For a ways out, March 31. $20.25.
You like me to have Keystone help you look for housing or what?
Oh, I certainly would. Yes. The problem, Mr. Carlisle, is there's not enough housing, and there's certainly not enough affordable housing.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at you, Palmyra gifting 5 Dolly Talk memberships. Yes. Helping to pray the gray away. We don't want any of those dirty grays here. Maddie B, Clubs SC, Yun Forever, Brian Oblivion, and Slage Jordan. Awesome. Thank you so much. Helping to keep that chat green. Appreciate it.
You were at, as I said, one of the last places for people that don't have a lot of money. Sturgis Housing Commission of Maple Towers provides housing for lots of people that really need it. And you just stopped paying your rent. And they ended up terminating your tenancy, and now they're suing you for all that back rent.
Yeah, my taxes, I don't know how much I'm getting back my taxes. Because I got to go to Maple Tower to get my mail over there. I got mail over there.
All right. Mm-hmm. This isn't ideal. I'm going to give you a copy of this judgment.
Give to the Keystone?
Yes.
Hey. Oh, shush, Hella.
And the clerks are going to give you a notice to appear for a discovery hearing.
Oh, what's her eyes
doing? Do you need the address for Keystone?
Well, it's a little creepy there. Hold on. I want to see her eyes a little more. Watch this.
And the clerks are going to give you a notice to appear for a discovery hearing.
Whoa, what the hell?
Do you need the address for Keystone?
Well, we'll get that.
Her eyes are like trying to blink.
You may
Morse
not be at
code.
Keystone by March 31st, but I thought I'd let things, Mr. Porter
plead
wanted me
the
to do
fifth.
this now in case you moved. They weren't able to find you. But you're going to stay right in the Sturgis area. All right, Mr. Carlisle, you owe a bunch of money that you presently don't have the ability to pay. They're going to ask you to come in for a hearing and discuss with you the ability to set up some sort of payment plan. I set it out a little bit, 2.5 months.
Write all this stuff down from the Keystone. Then
Yeah, we'll give it to you here in writing.
Because I give the Keystone
All right.
what's going on.
Anybody else have anything to add?
She looks
I
like
have an
you.
uneasy feeling about this, but it just is what it is.
What are you
Did we
doing?
get a time on the debtor's hearing, Judge?
9 a.m. live at the court. We'll give him a notice at the counter and we'll mail one to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Are you gonna say anything, Meg?
All right. Mr. Carlisle, I want you to go out to the counter. I'm going to give you two things. I'm going to give you a copy of this judgment that shows you owe this large amount of money. Then I'm going to give you a notice to come back to the courthouse on
Are really weird. Like, oh my God, she just like keeps moving her eyebrows back and forth, back and forth. See, I need a better plug-in. Look at this. Back and forth, back and forth.
this large amount of money. Then I'm going to give you a notice to come back to the courthouse on March 31st at 9
God, she's like a freaking Romulan.
a.m. to discuss your ability to pay on that debt. I certainly hope Keystone and the other advocates find some housing for you because you certainly.
Keep writing a note to them.
Yeah, well, they'll see
I'll
it.
forget.
They'll know. They can also watch this hearing on Zoom if they wish.
Are we sure that's a woman, though? Half Irish. You could have just made this very awkward for me. Thank you for broaching that subject. We'll just proceed under the theory she identifies as a woman.
All right, it's on YouTube.
Does the Keystone can do it on on Zoom also or no?
They can watch it just by going to my website and see what we just did. But this order says you owe a lot of money.
No wonder I'm attracted to her.
All right, go out to the counter. They're going to give you a copy of that
There's a whole
order,
story there.
and they're going to give you a notice to appear on March 31st at 9 a.m.
All right.
All right, good luck,
What's
sir.
that day falls on? Hoping don't fall on days I work.
March 31st is a Monday at 9 a.m.
That's fine.
Okay, hopefully that'll work. You can.
Because only days I work is Tuesdays and Saturday and Sundays at Myers.
So, and you work Saturday and Sunday at Applebee too?
No, I work Saturday and Sundays at Applebee's.
Okay.
And I work Tuesdays, Saturday and Sundays at Myers.
Dude. You're not working at the Manhattan Project here. You're not trying to break some atoms open. Okay? I think you can call in, reschedule a shift at Applebee's. You know, it's a month, 2 months out, was it? Good Lord, man.
Also.
So you work Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday at Myers, and Saturday and Sunday at Applebee's?
Correct.
So you work. All right. 21 days from today is the appeal date, and that would be February.
Monday be fine.
8th.
We can do it on the 31st on Monday. Because I
All
don't work
right,
that
good,
day.
that'll work. All right, Michelle, thank you for your help. All right, Mr. Carlisle, I wish I had better news for you, but it is what it is. So you go out to the counter, this lady will give you a copy of that judgment and she'll give you.
Go get my mail right then.
All right, very good. Tim apparently is going to come to see you to get his mail. Okay.
Anything you want to say, May?
All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Sorry, I didn't have much
All
help
right.
with the judge.
Wait, she said
Meg,
something.
I don't know what you could have intervened in there.
Have much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Sorry, I didn't have much
All
help
right.
with the judge.
Meg, I don't know what you could have intervened in there, but
I don't know what the hell you were doing here, to be honest with you, but okay, Meg.
It just is what it is. All right. We'll finish our record for today. We'll be back Monday morning with a full
I don't know what I'm complaining about. She really is the perfect date. Perfect woman right there. She doesn't talk. That's how we know she's a woman. She hasn't opened her mouth once. Or she's not a woman. She hasn't opened her mouth once. Okay, I'm going to be ending in a minute and gender neutral voice. She's screwing with us. God damn it. I was really hoping none of you noticed that, but I really bombed that one. I was so excited for that joke and it just stepped all over it. She'd be robotic in bed? Oh. It's all right. Okay, before I send everyone over, let's do this one. Roll like 2-minute clip.
We'll bring this fool in. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yes.
Nathaniel Saxon, sir.
Your name's not Buttfucker3000, you yo-ho. Logging into my court with that as your screen name.
Why would
I'll discuss that in a little bit. What kind of idiot logs into court like that? What's your name again?
Nathaniel Saxton, sir, but I don't believe that I typed anything like that in.
Well, that's what it says.
Well, I
That
apologize. That should not be.
Yeah, you should. I'll put you in the waiting room. You can sit in limbo for a while and think about what you call yourself online. Mr. Grossnickel, could you take your hat off, please? All right, he missed an earlier date, but he's here now. All right, good morning, everyone. We've got everybody with a name. You're all here. Mr. Saxon back in.
Your Honor.
Yes?
If I may explain, my sister was the one that set up my Zoom account or whatever.
Mrs. Buttfucker.
Is my iPhone pairing name for my Bluetooth speaker, sir. It's an inside joke. It's not what you think. I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry.
Well, you should be. All right, we'll come back to you in a bit. Let's take care of some of yours, Mr. Barnes. We have Michael Owen.
Or cause case, people.
That's a classic one. All right, so I've got the redirect set up, Hella. Should work, hopefully. Just own it, yes. I'd love if she had to come into court to explain. And here's the link for Hella. She is doing a Coburger stream next. So make sure you check that out. Sister's laughing her ass off right now. Yes, she is. I wonder who the first 2,999 were. All right, guys. I got more Judge Fleischer tomorrow morning at 10 Eastern AM. And I'll probably do some more Judge Simpson tomorrow at 4:30. So yeah, guys, go check out Hella Next. I will see you guys tomorrow. Toodles. End stream. There we go.